Okay, look everybody, the possibility that Travis Scott is dropping his new album Utopia or Topia this Friday, June 23rd, is actually not that low. Actually, it's kind of 50-50 at this point, and we gotta cover the latest news that might reveal more about when this album is dropping and about the rollout that has so far been pretty big and pretty legendary. So let's take a look at this. If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and details everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. Okay, so just to kind of get everybody caught up on the latest Utopia news ever since the last video, and then we'll get into the details about the release date at the end, but just get everybody caught up to date what's happened since the last video. First of all, Travis Scott was in England and he was at Abbey Road, and we've gotten some footage of him walking over the crosswalk that you might famously know the cover from the Beatles' legendary album Abbey Road from. And he's been there with the Utopia briefcase, and he's walking across this crosswalk with 3 other guys in suits, and he's just carrying the Utopia briefcase. And this is actually pretty cool. I mean, I knew that this rollout was pretty big. I knew that he had some stuff planned for this, but for him to recreate the Abbey Road Beatles cover with the Utopia case, that's a whole nother level, and I think it's great. I like when artists put a full narrative, a whole story around the creation and around the rollout of an album, and this just adds to it. So we've gotten that picture that's kind of recreating the cover art from the Beatles album, and we've gotten some footage of him walking across there. He didn't even, I mean, he did it just for promo. There was no way that he was just walking across there with 3 other guys, you know, randomly just in the position of the Abbey Road cover just because he was trying to get to the other side. That was definitely for promo, obviously. And another detail that is pretty interesting about this is that Mike Dean later, or like the next day, posted an Instagram post from Abbey Road Studios that you might know, also pretty legendary studio, obviously. I think the Beatles recorded the majority of a bunch of their stuff in there as well, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not 100% sure of that. But he posted a picture of that studio that he's in there, and he said, "We at Abbey," and Travis Scott was to be seen in that picture as well. So we know that they're finishing or just, you know, doing the album at Abbey Road Studios, which goes hand in hand with the fact that they're recreating the Beatles cover. To me, that's pretty legendary. That's pretty cool. So let me know what y'all think about this, though. Next up, we got to talk about the Nike Attack commercial, because Travis Scott was featured in a new Nike commercial. In this case, it's for the Attack. It's a shoe. I think it's a tennis shoe, because they also got, no, I might be mispronounced this guy named John McEnroe. He's a famous tennis player. I'm not really into tennis like that, so correct me if I'm wrong. But they were both featured in this commercial, and Travis is kind of like advertising the shoe. But here's an interesting part to this. In the background for the music for the ad, it's gold Blackberry, and you might know this leak. It's a Travis Scott. We've gotten almost the complete song, like it's pretty out there, and we have the instrumental when he's stepping out of the golf cart that he's in or whatever he's doing at the beginning. So that's pretty big because he's using a commercial for Nike that he's in to kind of, you know, promote or even tease unreleased music that he knows the fans know. He knows the fans know gold Blackberry, but he, for some reason, used it still. And here's the interesting part about this too. A lot of people have reported that content using the gold Blackberry instrumental or sound or whatever have been taken down proportionately more over the past couple of days. Because when this was unreleased and nobody really cared about it, you could just upload the leaks to YouTube, to SoundCloud, nobody cared about it. But apparently over the past couple of days, Travis Scott or his team, his label, they've made the effort to strike or take down any content using the gold Blackberry instrumental or the song in its entirety. So that could mean that they're getting close to a release, and now they want to get all the unreleased music that they still want to put out officially out of the way, because they're obviously gearing up to release it officially. That usually happens when a song is right about to drop. So that could mean maybe this week, but we'll talk about the release date in a second. Next up, we got another tweet from Mike Dean from 2 days ago, where somebody asked him on Twitter, it's always, where is Utopia? Where is Donda? How about how's Mike? Which is actually a pretty nice way to start a conversation. And Mike Dean then actually replied to this and said, thank you, I'm on tour, finishing Utopia, and doing another Mike Dean / Weekend album. I mean, we gotta let that Mike Dean / Weekend album, he just kind of announced that. We'll talk about that in another video, but he's saying finishing Utopia. And what I found so interesting about this, obviously we know he's finishing Utopia, but what I found interesting about this is that he's saying Utopia. Because in the past, when it was about the, briefcase and him getting the briefcase and mastering it was always Topia. He even himself said, now in possession of the Topia case and not the Utopia case. And y'all know all the theories we made about Utopia, Dystopia, Topia, double album, all of that. If not, you can go check out my video that I dropped a couple of weeks ago on that, basically going into the whole theory and the whole thoughts we had around that. But he's saying Utopia now. Now we got to touch on the release date real quick. I mean, over the course of this coming week, we're going to get more info on whether or not it's going to be dropping that Friday, so make sure to stay subscribed to always stay up to date with that. But one thing that I did want to mention is that DJ Academics, he got played the Pink Tape by Lil Uzi. And DJ Academics then went on live and said that Travis Scott actually had a feature on the Pink Tape. And this is interesting because we've been thinking about them dropping maybe even the same day. I dropped a video like a couple of days ago discussing whether Travis and Uzi are going to be dropping Utopia and the Pink Tape on the same day. Now, considering the fact that Travis has a feature on the Pink Tape, that seems even more unlikely. So that kind of opens up new ways of this conversation. And the interesting part about it is that Uzi now confirmed that the Pink Tape is dropping on June 30th. And we always thought that Travis was going to be dropping on the 30th. I mean, we have the whole theory about the 23rd. If you also don't know about that theory, I go into it a little bit in that dropping the same day video. But if you want the full breakdown and evidence on this and analysis of this, make sure to go check out a video I dropped a couple of months ago, actually. That is also going to give you way more detail on this. Going into all of it now would not fit into this video. But what I wanted to say is, now that we have the 30th confirmed for Uzi, and we thought Travis was going to be dropping the 30th because it would be the Billboard rules applied, and then from the 30th on, fan packs count towards the first week sales. We basically have Travis open for either the 23rd or July 7th, and at this point, I believe it's going to be July 7th just because I don't think that Travis would let go of the opportunity to make use of those Billboard fan packs. He wants the first week sales. He wants that #1. I don't think there's any way around it. So my guess is that the 23rd is now pretty unlikely, and we're likely going to see Utopia on July 7th, so a week after Uzi. Nonetheless, still amazing for music, the couple of releases we got coming up. Hip-hop is in a great state right now, and I believe this summer is only going to get better. And we got Thugger dropping in like 3 days now. I just made a video on that. Make sure to go check that out as well. But as I said, likely going to be dropping more videos. The more we learn about this release, and the more we learn about if it's going to be June 23rd or July 7th. So make sure you stay subscribed. Definitely let me know what y'all think about this though. When do you think he's dropping? Is it going to be June 23rd or July 7th? Do you think it is somehow connected to the Pink Tape, his feature on there? And what do you think about all the new evidence that we went over in the first half of this video? All your thoughts and your theories on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and you'll take care.